had my first baby 9 months and 18 days after we married.
My first baby, we named Glenn. I was just a baby myself when we had him, but I couldn't have been prouder. My firstborn was Edwin. That little baby was the light of my life. Second came Alice. She was no bigger than a minute, but she could yell louder than anybody.
Our third was stillborn. Our fourth was Mark, dark and slender and smart as a whip.
Begin by boiling in a quart of water. Block 12,
Shadow block.
the secret drawer. 1 tablespoon pennyroyal. 1 tablespoon put sweet. Let it boil for 15 minutes.
Dear Mabel Louise, another Durham come into the world last month. This one we named Robert Burns Durham. Little Robert gave me quite a scare being born. Andrew had gone off logging, and there was a howling norther out. I broke water and was having too much pain. Feeling that baby with my hands, I knew for certain it was going to breach. I put the kids to bed to keep warm. Told the older ones to keep the fire going no matter what. We got a little room tacked onto the back. So I got in there, got under my quilts, and Lordy, did I pray for Andrew to come home. He come blowing in that night. Said he just had a feeling. I was never so glad to see anybody. He pulled that baby out.
Our 5th baby was Jane. She was our first girl and the apple of her daddy's eye. Next came Betty. What a little scamp she was.
Our 7th, named Benjamin after his granddaddy for his pretty wavy hair. 8th after Ben came Nan, and she was always the quiet one.
Add a cup of quinine. Continue boiling for 5 minutes.
Dear Harriet, well, it seems like it's just been one baby after another. I'm pregnant with number 8 and wondering how we'll ever get along with another one. It's like Mama always used to say, I wouldn't take $1 million for any of my kids, but I wouldn't give a nickel for another one.
Number 9, we named Daniel. He was born during a drought and didn't get a proper bath till he was walking.
Our 9th baby died when he was just 10 days old. The cholera. 10 and 11 were the twins.
Remove from the fire. And add 1/8 teaspoon iron sulfate.
Dear Mabel Louise, well, the kids are all in bed now, and I'm just sitting down to write for a bit before going to sleep myself. Those kids are keeping me busy all the time. Luckily, there's not another one on the way. I'm awful afraid of getting pregnant again, though, and this has caused a strain on things between me and Andrew.
My next miscarried. My 11th was Margaret. She came almost a month early. Gave us quite a scare.
Take a handful of human hair and snip it into small pieces. When swallowed, this will bring on stomach contractions.
Dear sister, well, it seems like we'll be expecting our 12th child this winter. I frankly don't know what to do or where to turn. I went to see the doctor to ask him for help.
Well, yes, Mabel Louise, you surely are pregnant again, but you didn't come all this way for me to tell you that.
Dr. Blake, please. This will be number 12 for Caleb and me, and I'm almost 35 years old. The Last one laid me up for 2 solid months after the birth. I'm scared of another one. Caleb needs me well and strong, and if I have to take to bed again after the birth, or if I die, I don't know what will happen to my family. Doctor, I'm asking for your help.
Mabel Louise, believe me, I do sympathize with your situation. But if you're asking me what I think you're asking me, I can't help. My oath prevents my taking a life.
Well, I'm scared for my life and the lives of my children if you don't help me. Please, Dr. Blake, I'm begging you now for relief. Please.
Mabel Louise, I'm going to forget we had this conversation, and I suggest you do the same. You're just going to have to live with this. There's nothing I can do.
My 12th was Ellen.
Miscarried. My 13th was Allie.
Miscarried.
14th was Matthew.
Miscarried.
My 15th was Luke. 16th was Samuel.
Miscarried.
Miscarried.
Pour the mixture into a cup and let it cool slightly.
Dear Mabel Louise, I have come across a recipe that I hope will be the answer to both our prayers. A woman I know of knows a woman who has used it herself. She guarantees it will relieve you of your problem. The ingredients are simple and I hope available to you. After following the enclosed recipe,
Stir the hair into the mixture.
when it has cooled, you must drink it all down at once. The taste is unpleasant, but you must drink it all. My friend tells me that you are quite likely to feel uncomfortable for a time, but that it will all be over in a few hours. You should have enough time after putting Caleb and the kids to bed. Oh, I wish I could be with you, my darling sister. I hate to think of you carrying this burden alone. My thoughts and prayers are with you. Your loving sister, Harriet.
Elizabeth. Barbara. Carl.
Peter,
Emma.
Laura,
Matthew.
Robert,
John,
James,
Glenn,
Catherine,
Robert,
Richard,
Alice,
Miranda,
Andy,